Greetings, curious concerned, civil visitors, or fellow subscribers. This is Erik935 wishing you all a very belated Happy New Year. Hope you all enjoyed it as well as the holidays, and of course, hope you had a lot of fun and whatnot. So, it's actually been quite some time since I last made an update on this channel. Actually since last year, as a matter of fact. Now, first, I'd just like to say that I apologize for not getting that much content on this channel for quite some time. I know I've actually been mostly focusing on a lot of the things such as Fazbear Revives 1 and 2, which is something that I've been more focusing on throughout the last few months. It's actually quite a big thing for me since I really want to get into video game design within the future. I won't go in depth onto that right now because that's not what we're here to talk about at the moment. We're actually here to talk about what's going on with the channel and what to expect in the future. So, let's go over a lot of things that are going on within this year. Now, I know a lot of you people have been really dying to know what's going on in the future since some of you might actually enjoy my work a lot. So, let's start this year off. I have some good news and a bit of some disappointing news for subscribers who's been on the channel for quite some time. First, I'd just like to go over something real quick and then I'll go over the projects I talked about last year but never really got the chance to talk about later on within the past few months. First off, I'd just like to say that I will no longer be doing game character Let's Plays anymore. As much as I enjoyed doing this in the past, I really lost interest in it later on. Now, I apologize to those who've enjoyed this series in the past, but I honestly don't find this series interesting anymore. Much like Microsoft Sam Reed's funny Windows errors, there are people out there that have done a better job of something like this than I have. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the other three projects that I've been meaning to talk about for a while: Ninja Spyden, Psychopath, and X Adventures. Starting off with Ninja Spyden, it brings me great disappointment that I have to announce that I am no longer doing this project. Not because a lot of work went into this project for nothing, but, well, no work was really done at all. I simply did not have the motivation to work on this project. This was something I really wanted to do, as someone who really enjoys the classic Ninja Gaiden series. However, the more I thought about it, I actually realized something I failed to realize beforehand when I announced this thing. And the thing is that I announced this project at a point where I hadn't even started working on it yet. And that's usually a problem because you usually announce your projects when you've actually done some work onto it, and when you're close to it being out, you make a little announcement of it later on. And this is something that I tended to do quite often in the past, and it's something I plan on changing this year. Had I actually done some work on this project before officially announcing it, perhaps this wouldn't have happened to begin with. Once again, I'm truly sorry about this. And this brings me on to X Adventures, which honestly is no better news because this is something that I've wanted to speak about for a while now during the time that I've been working on Fazbear Revived 1 and 2. Now, the last time I spoke about this series, I said that I would be putting this series on hiatus for the time being due to the lack of views that the previous episode recently had. However, as of now, I've actually changed plans and have decided that this series is no longer going to be done. It is officially cancelled. But that doesn't mean I won't be going back to it. It simply means that I won't be continuing what was shown within the first episode of this series. Now, what does this mean exactly? Well, I haven't actually completely decided this yet, but I actually have a plan to reboot X Adventures as something completely different. I mean, X Adventures was my very first long Gmod animation, but it wasn't really the best thing ever made. The animation was all here and there, the voice acting that I did wasn't really that perfect, especially with the computer I had at the time, and the story I had written wasn't really well thought out at the time. I should have just done something related to the series that was inspired by, which was Call of Duty Zombies. Now this time, if I go with my plan to reboot this series, I will try my best to make this better than how it was before. Now, I won't make any updates regarding this idea until I've done enough work on it to mention it in a future update. If I don't mention it at all in the future, it may mean that I've given up on the idea, so don't get your hopes up. Now, this brings me on to my last project, which is something that I've actually been working on throughout the past year, Psychopath Episode 3. I know that there are some people here that have actually been wondering where this thing is, since they've actually watched the previous 2 episodes in the past. Well, I'm here to say that this video is not dead. However, there was a point where I almost lost complete motivation on this video. Not to mention the work that I've done so far with it is honestly something that I think I could have done a lot better. And of course, because of this brings me on to a little bit of some disappointing news. It is going to take a lot longer because I'm actually going to do this episode all over again from scratch with a new idea in mind, as well as trying my best to make this much a longer video than the previous 2. And believe me when I say this, a lot of inspiration is going into this video from a particular video game. Let's just say, once our good psychotic friend Starrichtofen has made it to the end, he's gonna have a bad time. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say for this video. Now, thank you for taking the time to watch this update to keep up to date with a lot of my future content, and there will be a lot more coming in the future aside from what I've just mentioned, so please stay tuned. As for when these projects or any other videos are going to be coming out later on in the future, I can't really say when because I'm still working on Fazbear Revive 2 at this point, and as a lot of you people may know, video games really do take a lot of time to complete. But once I manage to complete this game and get it up on GameJolt, I will be sure to work on the next project as soon as possible. I'm not quite sure which project that will be, but depending on which one it was, it'll be out as soon as it can. So that's it for this update, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and also put something down in the comments section on something you'd like to see in the future. If I come across it, maybe I might take it to some consideration. I would really like to come up with a lot of new ideas, and your support would really help me with that. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Eric935 saying have a good day and peace out.